Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Pseudo's Crochet and More. This is Crystal, your yarn host. This is part 2 of the walkthrough at the Sew Biz located in Radford, Virginia. This video is going to be more about fabric, so sit back, relax. It's hopefully not too long for you. I just wanted to give you all an opportunity to see the different fabrics that they offer. Let's go ahead and walk on in. Alright, so this here is actually right on the other side of the fabric wall. These were still kind of color coordinated. It kept all the blues together, greens, yellows. These were 100% cotton fabrics, and I do pull out a nice pretty like purplish colored one. It looks like it's kind of stone washed in my opinion, with the white coming through there. This one here, I do believe I get a price. I think I tried to get a price, maybe I didn't. That was actually made in Japan, if you didn't see. Underneath of that, there was these weird boards with like maybe the end of some fabric. They just put on something smaller instead of the tall ones. A lot of different options there. I do believe I pull one out to show you. Let's see. They got the roosters, chickens. There you go. There's a nurse's one. That was $8.99, and I'm guessing that was basically for what was on there. I did not ask too many questions about the fabric. If you haven't seen the first video, part 1, the fabric wall, I will link that in the description box below. That did come out an hour ago, so you can go ahead and go back and watch that one. This section has a lot of ones there. Now this one was weird. I did look to see what they were called, but I don't remember off the top of my head. Let me see if I can read it fast enough. Something placement. It was really weird. Yeah, Multi-Tuscan Delight Placement Panel. If anybody's ever used those things, let me know what you've used it for. Is it for like making tablecloths, curtains, placements on like placement pads for your plates and stuff? Alright. And this here was across the way too. They had different colors. These were the aisles of fabric. They had them color coordinated as well. These were 100% cotton. And again, these ones were, priced differently, as you can see. 100% cotton, made in Thailand. I think Thai. That might be why the prices were a little bit lower. There is actually some fabric in here that reminded me of something Cinnamon Stitches bought recently from one of the local box stores to make her curtains with. So if she wants any more, I can definitely give her a shout out so she can watch the video. Again, I did break up the videos. I do believe it's going to wind up being 4 parts. It's going to be all the fabric in 2 videos. Again, I did not get all the fabric, because if you saw the first video, when you walk in, you can see how much fabric is in the store. They've got it throughout the entire store. They've got aisles, they've got little end caps, they've got displays. So if you're into sewing, you might want to check them out. I will link their online link to their website in the description box below. Sorry, I'm getting a little tongue-tied, but that's what happens when you keep talking for an amount of time and you're like, blah, blah, blah. You gotta sip a coffee well. See, they had Americana, basically 4th of July, or anytime. Anybody that likes those colors would be good for them, or likes, red, white, and blue, stars. And below that was sports related, baseball. They even had ones with golf balls on them. And it looks like I missed some of the stuff here, but you can kind of see some of the design. I did try to get if people made stuff and they hung it up to show, what you can do with the fabric. And here's all the food related. I thought that was kind of cute. I tried to see if I could get the writing there, but it was upside down. I was trying to hold my phone. They had instructions on how to make strawberry shortcakes, jam, and just regular strawberry shortcakes. I think that's kind of interesting because I know at Thanksgiving time there was a tablecloth that Walmart had with the ingredients and instructions on how to make pumpkin pie or something. It was weird. But as you can see, they have a lot of options, food related, non-food related. Again, this was just a few of the aisles that they had at their location, and they've been open. This location's been open since February of 2019. I had to go back and look at that one. It's called Nature's Calling. I thought that was funny when everybody was worried about running out of toilet paper at the beginning of the pandemic. And then they had some, I would say St. Patrick's Day stuff. I must have cut off that part. Lucky Clovers was the name of that one. When everybody was worried about running out of toilet paper because of the shortages we were having at that time. There's those bees and the honey. I think it's around here that I saw that. Yep, there it is. I thought of cinnamon stitches when I saw that fabric. Like, They also had ones with ladybugs on them, which if I'm not mistaken, she does sometimes get, she sometimes finds fabric with ladybugs on it and won't get it if it's at a good price. Oh, it tells you how many yards are on that when it starts too. That's interesting. A lot of fabric with sayings on them. And different designs down here. Some plaid with designs, or gingham as some people call them. There's some flowers. More just regular designs there. That was, I do believe, a kit. It did not include everything. You did have to get your own filling for the pillow. Moody Bloom. It had different ones there. And it was $69.99. I do believe it was just the fabric, and I think that was kind of cool. They had some kind of ribbon that looked like measuring tape to hold it together. I did that because there was people around, and there was a kid playing, and I was trying not to get the kid recorded. There's the ladybugs, and butterflies, and ants. Like I said, a large selection of options. A large selection of options. A lot of options for people who like to sew. Whether you sew bags, you make I'm trying to think, quilts, anything like that. Now, again, this is a local, I'm going to say craft store, because it has a lot of craft items like fabrics, embroidery, cross stitch, yarn, accessories for each one of those different craft. I did find out that they do ship. I'm gonna say it's probably just international right now. Not international, just within the U.S. Don't get this with me. This is me. This is the true me. So if you hear me go crazy with my words, that's just me, and I'm not gonna edit it out. So There was actually fabric there just see with buttons all over it for people who like buttons, or somebody you know that likes buttons. There's a lot of crafting look of fabric that's got different crafting icons, cosmetics, makeup, and here's more comic fabric. That's interesting. That was named. I looked at that and it said it was Pickles. I never heard of that comic in the paper, but it could be because it was a local comic that was in the newspaper here. Yeah, Pickles. When I see that, I think of the Rugrats. Anybody else? The last name Pickles? They did have, on some of them, I just caught that one, they did have the, washing instructions. Here's some more. Oh, hey, dollar bills. Somebody might feel rich with having a blanket made out of that. Bunch of dollar bills on your blanket. Again, these were just, these were little short aisles. They were 2 shelves high. The top shelf, which I show first, and then I go back through and kind of show the bottom shelf for you. Nice breast cancer awareness fabric as well. You know, somebody made a bag out of one of the fabrics that were on the higher shelf. Looks like I just tried to get a copy of that. They did have team fabric as well, the Radford University fabric. They had some Dallas Cowboy fabric over there. I want to say that they had Roanoke University fabric as well. There's some music fabric, some gingham fabric. As you can see, tons and tons and tons. And there's even, that was part of the yarn wall. I wish it was a yarn wall. No, a fabric wall that was behind where you can see this. There's some trains. I was thinking of my dad when I saw these because he loves trains. He does like boats too, but he was into trains and doing train models, and it was called a Railway Express. I think there was even some motorcycles down there. Now I'm not sure how they got that comb on there because I didn't see that on the actual fabric unless they layered it. But they do ask people if you've bought stuff from them to come back and show them so you can, tell them what you made with it. There was a lady in there getting some fabric to make a bag, and they were like, we would like to see how it turns out. She goes, oh yeah, I'll bring it back. They were quite busy when I was in there, to be honest. A lot of fabric purchasing, but they did have fat eighths, and there was a bunch of those. And they did have another section of different cuts as well. You'll see those in just a moment. Well, maybe a minute. I don't know. And there was some empty shelf space there. They might have been just out of stock on the items that are normally there, or they might have been on sale and moved to a different location. A lot of sunflowers. Those look like miniature sunflowers, though. I'm not sure if those were sunflowers or daisies. Sunflowers normally, I guess for fabric you don't want them that large, but made in Korea. And I do believe some of these were sectioned off by the company, but it could also be that these were, just by the design too and the color. While I was doing this, my husband was in the car with our daughters, Bella and Brownie, that you see in the intro. And he's like, geez, 2 hours? And I don't think it took me 2 hours, but then again, it might have. Didn't feel like it, but I knew it was a little bit of time to get this all done for you guys. And as I mentioned before in the first video, the current owner took this was an employee that learned different sewing and learned how to repair machines. So if you have a machine that needs to be looked at, you can stop on in and have them check it out for you if you're in the Radford. Their website does say Fairlawn now, but it's just on the opposite side of Radford, Virginia. You cross this bridge and you're in Fairlawn. I thought that was pretty cool. It looked like bare trees in a forest. It said it was just black and white, but the way that the black came through, it looked like bare trees. There's the fat quarters. They had a lot to choose from there. I did not pick any of those up. I just kind of went over them because they were on the end of the aisles of the fabric. Here's the flannel. A lot of flannel. Not that anybody wants, well, maybe. Some places are starting to warm up for spring, and some places you still need some flannel to keep warm. Make it with cork. I've never heard of using cork. They're these really, I know you'll see it in a second, these really long things of cork. But I've never heard of anybody use cork to craft. If you have, let me know what you've made with cork in the comment section below. And if you heard that, that was my air freshener going off. Fabric backing, to back your fabric. I thought the Chigu or Clover only did knitting needles and crochet hooks. Apparently they do stuff for sewing as well. There was some stuff down at the bottom there. Now let me go ahead to the next section here. Alright, so here is another section. These were more fabrics that were on sale. This was not on the yarn wall. This was separate from that. And I'm sorry if I make anybody dizzy. I was trying to capture that, but as I said, on the other side there were people in the back area sewing, and I'm not sure if it was a sewing class, if they were trying to just make their own thing. And this was an end cap here of kits for sewing, different things that you can make. And it does state what you will need in the back, on the back of it. You'll need your thread, your polyfill. I think it just came with the fabric. Tiger tape. What a name for tape. Alright, here's some more fabric. Now this I do believe was also on sale. Maybe because I think it said to check out the other side. Again, these were just the yarn aisles, and there's some. Okay, so this was on the other side of the fabric wall as well. They had a little stand here with a bunch of different kits in it to make. Well, actually, they weren't kits, they were just pieces of fabric. White snowman snow globe panel. I guess if you wanted just to get something small, you could get that. And of course, they had the batting, or you know, the material you use between the top and the backing of your project. If you're making a blanket, a quilt, or a purse, and you want some extra padding, that's what that is. And this was all before the first section that you saw with all the colors that looked like they were stone washed. They did have pillows in there that you can use instead of using the straight polyfill. I did look to see what this was. It was flexible foam, single-sided fusible. I don't. Single-sided fusible, soft and formable, easy to stitch. A lot more stuff than I'm used to seeing. And then they had these, which I checked because they felt like they were silk, but they weren't. It was, I do believe, cotton. I know I show it, but, oh, there we go, okay. Let's see. Anti-static polyester, that's what it was. That's what was all over there. And then they had some like trimming fringe that you could add to your project. More pillows. I don't know, those were like, oh, I think it's batting, if I'm not mistaken. If you're a sewer and you know what those are, you can correct me in the comment section below. I did try to see what it was, and it didn't really state. It just was a perfect blend of 80% Dream Cotton and 20% Dream Polyfine. It didn't really state like if it was the batting to use between your fabric for blankets or for anything else like that. I had a lot of different options in those. Nature fill batting. See, that's why I was thinking it was just like batting that was already pre-sized for different sizes, like for quilts. And then I started over here, and I think what happened when I started here, I accidentally paused it and stopped it. Alright, well, thank you for watching part 2, more fabric. Stay tuned for the next part, which is going to be the thread and embroidery / cross stitch. Have a great day and stay crafty.